I'm Raphael. We are here standing at Les Jardins de Chivrajon, which is a micro farm that I created last year. I've been trained as a cook at l'Institut Paul Bocuse in France, in Lyon, for 3 years. Then I went to Paris, where I worked at L'Arpège, a 3 Michelin-starred restaurant. The chef is Alain Passard, who is known to be the master of vegetable-driven cuisine. And it's where I learn and unlearn everything. When you arrive there, they tell you to do whatever you like with the vegetables that we received every day from the gardens that were around Paris. And little by little, I got interested in market gardening. So I read the book The Market Gardener by Jean-Martin Fortier, who is a Canadian guy who studied ecology, and he decided to create micro farm, and that's where everything started. I was here, I had only 2,000 square meters, and little by little I was trying things, and I asked my parents who owned the land if I could farm this. And it took me more or less 1 year to prepare, to do my math and everything, to have enough money to start. We did also a crowdfunding, which were great. And now we are in our first big season with 1 hectare, which means we are 5 times bigger than last year. We are 2 people working now. In a month we'll be 3 people. And we have 2 greenhouses, 1 nursery for all our little plants. We do everything from the seed to the plant. And the idea is to go from seed to the plate in the end, which means I want to find a balance between cooking and gardening, which is going to be a long path, I think. This is my farm, my micro farm. So here we have our herb garden. We have more than 25 varieties. We use them for markets. We sell them, but also for all our treatments. We only do natural treatment that we do on the farm. Infusion, fermentation, things like that. So one of the key tool of organic gardening is those nets for insects. Those are for cabbages, and like this we don't have some insects going to eat the leaves. That's one of the boring stuff about organic growing, that you have to cover all the crucifer family, which are attacked by some small insects. And if they are not really beautiful, you won't sell them. That's one of the problem we have with customers right now, is they don't accept any vegetables. They have to be beautiful, shiny, clean, which means a lot of work. But in the end, we are happy when we see beautiful vegetables also. When I started Les Jardins de Chivrajon, I thought as a cook, which means I choose more than 200 varieties, and I would like to have 400, 500, maybe 1,000. And this is great because I can speak to restaurants and sell them the vegetables they need and they want, and a little bit maybe educate them also what you can have in this season. We try to choose restaurants that like old varieties and colors, and also who want to have special products. We do a lot of small vegetables like mini carrots, mini fennel and stuff like that, because it's more profitable for us, because it grows fast, and also they enjoy those kind of products that they can't find in other places. When you think as a cook, it means you have a big palette and you can express yourself and discover new tastes, new flavors. So it's kind of like if you were a painter and you want to do your own color, you would go in nature and take grass for green, and you would take flower for this color. You would produce everything from dirt to your painting. It's the same for cooking now. You go from seed to plate, and you understand. Like this, we could do a plate about carrots. Would be with some seeds that would be toasted, and we have the carrot, fresh carrot, then maybe a fermented carrot also, and then we have a sauce with the leaves, and then we could put flour of carrot, and you have everything about a carrot. Anything becomes possible when you know how to handle and how to grow your own products. So everything is organized as permanent beds. They do 36 meters long and 75 centimeters large. We use this technique because we think for now it's the best technique we have, and we don't till our soil. We work with living soils, which means we do a lot of amendments like compost and stuff like that. And we organize this way, like this. We have to do rotation of crop, and like this it's easier. Then we have like gardens, we call them gardens, but it's some kind of zones. They have 11 different zones, and like this you have, this year we'll have leeks and carrots here, then they will go in the next zone next year, and everything will turn like this. When you work with rotation crop, you don't use all the nutrients, you have less disease, and you have to do it, it's the law, so which is great because you have to do it, otherwise your soil will get dead or you will have it won't be balanced as it has to be. And now we're going to the too cold house where we have in one only cucumber and in the other one only tomatoes. So here the cucumber coming this week already, which is good for us. If we would have a greenhouse that would be heated, we would have cucumber from, it would be like 2-3 weeks ago at least. Yeah, you have to have electricity and everything. It's more complicated. And also we believe we don't need fuel for those. People have to wait and learn to wait for cucumber and tomatoes and all those summer crops. And on the other side, we have our tomatoes, which we are really proud. They are growing well, and end of this week, beginning of the next, we'll have our first tomatoes. We have more than 600 little plants, and 30 varieties, and I hope 60 next year, or maybe 100. Almost only old varieties, which mean from different catalogs and shops and people that have them in their family. A lot of work, but again it's going to be colorful and great, and everyone waits for them. So when it starts, we will have a lot of tomatoes.
Do you keep some for seed?
We don't produce our own seeds now because it's special work. But in the next 3 years, I would like to start our own tomato seeds at least and go for everything like this, which is a huge work when you grow more than 200 varieties. But I believe it's important to do it and to understand a new step and to be almost autonomous. So here we are in the nursery. As I said earlier, we work from the seed to the plant to the plate. If we have to sell salads every week, we will seed them every week. Like this, we can have continuous supply, which means we only have fresh salad, and if you wait, they will go to seed and you can't eat them anymore, so we have to plan for this. And here is one of the key and one of the strategic place of the farm. And again, we'll build everything. We have there the water coming in and goes in all the farm. We have electricity, and all the technical aspects of the farm is here, and that's where everything starts, the beginning of life. So here we have some Swiss chard, which will grow this big in the end. We have 3 varieties. We have yellow, white and red. There we have some zucchinis. We saw them in the fields. They were big, but they start little like this. For example, they stay 2 weeks in the nursery for the zucchinis, but the Swiss chard will stay at least 30 days, which means we have to plant this again. We have basil that we plant every month. Like this, we have some fresh and beautiful basil for everyone. We have some purple, we have some lemon basil, we have some basic basil, and we have some Greek basil here. And then here we have some thyme and mint, and we can go on for hours and hours. So here we are going to the washing station, where all the vegetables that we harvest go after that. Here we wash everything. We have an organization for salad and everything. There are a gun with water or just put in water for 1 minute or spin dried or anything. And after that, they go in our cold room, which is a game changer also for us now that we can keep fresh vegetables for some days and we store them really in a better way. And we can also keep our treatment there, which means when they are ready, we put them here at 2 degrees and they stay great for many weeks. Every day in Switzerland now you have more than 3 farms that shut down, which means other farms get bigger and bigger every day. The challenge with a micro farm is to be profitable with only 1 hectare, which is a big garden but a small farm today. One of the key practices is to have a high density of vegetables per square meters, which we do here on permanent bed. And by working by hand, we can do that, which means we have 5 rows of carrots, and usually we will have only 3 rows of carrots on the same space if we had a tractor, for example. One of the other key elements is to sell directly to restaurant people, and there is no businesses between us and the customer, or sometimes only one, which means we get more money for our carrot, for example, than if we would sell to one company that would sell after that to a supermarket. The work I'm doing now, it's like we work with consciousness. We know, okay, here we did this. To have a zucchini, it takes 30, 40, 60 days at least, and then you have in full production, you have every day, so you have to store, to transform the product. My goal would be to transform half of the vegetables of the farm, which means doing temporary restaurants, table d'hôte as we say in French, to transform, do fermentation, and have what I call the atelier, which would be a lab where we could experiment all year round and have a restaurant whenever I want and whatever we can also. For the people wanting to start a farm or a garden or anything, I would say take your time, plan everything, even if nothing is going to go as your plan, be prepared for anything, and even there you will be surprised, but you'll be more confident, and be also ready for failure. If you lose money, what would you do? Be ready for the worst, but also be ready for the best, and be ready to work a lot. You will wake up really early in the morning, you go really late in the evening, and I think the key factor is to be happy and motivated. If it's too complicated to plan, or you think it's too hard or anything, think more and take more time. But I think a year is really quick, and I did it in 1 year, which is good. I'm happy with it. But be ready for anything. Like this, you will feel more confident and relaxed. Speak to a lot of farmers, that's really important. They will give you advice, and be careful to not burn out, because that's when everything starts, that you think you're going to be able to manage everything, and then you see that you can't manage everything. So be ready to have to make some choices, and if you know where you're going, that's the best. I could recommend Jean-Martin Fortier's book, The Market Gardener, which is a great way to understand how to grow vegetables and to be profitable. He gives the money advice and everything you would need. It doesn't mean that Jean-Martin Fortier is the best example. You have to make your own farm. And read some permaculture book, which could be basic, but you learn to be organized for this part. And you could read also Elliot Colesman's book, which is one of the best books you could find on techniques, and go on the web, on YouTube, see some videos, try everything, try to do everything on a smaller scale, in 100 square meter, maybe more, maybe less, but try everything. Like this, when you go bigger, it's going to be crazy, you will see, but at least you know more or less how to manage. And read, that's the best advice I can give. I went for biodynamic culture, so I read a lot of books from Rudolf Steiner, but that's more specific topic that I chose, which I find myself. Voilà.